All right, everybody, we are officially at the finish line. We just have a couple more draft evaluation videos to get through here. We're going to do one now, we're going to do one later, and then that should be the end, unless something comes out of nowhere in these last few days, which is not a very viable possibility. So this video is going to be the stragglers on offense. And basically, these are players that, for one reason or another, are worth discussing in the context of the Seahawks maybe drafting them, but I didn't get to them my first time through. Either I missed them or they kind of surged onto the scene after I constructed my lists, or we had a top 30 visit with them and I feel obligated to report on them a little bit. Whatever the reason may be, the point is I'm now getting to them because I just missed them. Okay, so this video is sponsored by Prize Picks. More on them a little bit later, but we're going to do a few running backs to start off here. Mostly running backs in this video. Jaydn Ott is our first guy here, Oklahoma running back, although you wouldn't know it because he basically did nothing for the Sooners, and he was only there 1 year. So 23 when the season starts. Did not get measured at the combine, but he's believed to be about 5'11 and 208 pounds. Big boards. We got a couple fifth rounders, and the aggregate puts him in the sixth, but I don't know if that's really going to happen here. This guy was a pretty bright star a couple years ago, but he has kind of crashed and burned to the point where it's hard for me to believe that he will be much of a consideration for anybody. So 2025, he had like 15 yards of offense or something. He did nothing. I think he got hurt. He basically didn't play. 2024, he played, but he didn't do that much. He averaged 3.3 yards a carry. He had less than 400 yards rushing. He did okay as a receiver, I guess. He had 222 receiving yards, but he was not effective. You got to go back to 2023 to find a year where he was actually like a featured back. 1,300 rushing yards, 200 receiving yards, 12 touchdown or 14 total touchdowns, 5.3 yards per carry. Now you're talking a little bit really high PFF grade, but that was a couple years ago now. 2023. What was going on in 2023? It's just one of those things where if you feel like you would have seen a little bit more if this guy was the real deal. Now, Jaydn Ott is a smart runner. He knows he uses vision well. He's got good vision. He picks the right spots consistently. He has the right lanes. He's got decent top speed if you can get him up to it. So if you get him in the open field, he can kind of outrun you. And he's a quality check down option out of the backfield. You can get him the ball when he's swinging out of the backfield, check it down to him. He'll be a good safety valve. And he can make some things happen after the catch to where he's not just a possession guy. He's not elusive though. He's really not somebody that's going to make people miss. He's not agile. He's not creative in the open field. You can just bring him down. He has no power. He has no pop. He just kind of, you get your hands on him and he's done. He's slow to accelerate, so it's hard for him to get up to that good top speed. So the acceleration is slow, and he's not really a great athlete overall. He's not explosive. He doesn't change direction fast. He's just not a great athlete. The production over the final 2 years was very, very minimal. He, even if you include receiving yards, had probably like less than 700 yards total over the last 2 seasons. And he's not a good blocker either. He doesn't have the will or the desire to block the way that you need for a running back. Do you like sports? If you do, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players' projections and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. I've had a great time using Prize Picks so far. It makes this daily fantasy thing so easy and fun, and it even makes watching the games way more exciting. And with the cool social feeds feature, you can share lineups with your friends and even follow partners to tail or fade their picks. Obviously, we're in the NFL offseason right now, but we've got basketball, baseball, hockey, all kinds of other stuff, so don't be afraid to test things out in whatever sport clicks with you. You can even pick multiple sports in the same lineup and sweat everything at once. And don't forget about team picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So, Download Prize Picks, America's #1 sports app. And don't forget, code HMA, that is HMA, gives you $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. Okay, so there's not really much I can say here. A couple years ago, yeah, you had something, but now it feels like you don't. There's nothing to say. He did nothing for Oklahoma. That was his chance, so I'm waiting for UDFA. I don't think he's worthy of a draft pick. I don't think you need to spend a draft pick on a guy who is this limited and also this unproductive. Next guy is another running back. This is a guy who we used a top 30 visit on, so there's some intrigue here. Chip Trayanum. Chip Trayanum of Toledo, 24 when the season starts. He's a bigger guy, sub 6 feet, but he's over 225, so he's got girth. He's a bigger back. And none of the big boards had him getting drafted, but close to the top 300, so there is some credibility here. He only had the 1 year at Toledo. He had 1,000 yards rushing and 200 yards receiving, so there was production, put up numbers, but it's only the 1 year. Before then, he was at a even smaller school. I can't even remember which one it is now, but I didn't bother including it. He used to play linebacker, and he plays physically. So that's kind of fun. He's willing to stick his nose in there and take contact, and he's pretty darn good at it. So there's something to be said there. You're not going to find that in a lot of running backs. He brings special teams value. We know this because he did it in college. He also is actually kind of a good route runner. I mean, when you put him out as a receiver, he used to play, he used to do like receiver type routes. So you can actually put him out there and have him be a legitimate weapon in the passing attack. He's also good at being patient with his blocks and allowing a play to develop before committing to going through a hole. And he's really hard to bring down because he's so powerful and big. It's hard to tackle him. He can run people over. He can plow people over. And it's not fun trying to bring him down, especially as a defensive back. Now, he only really had one notable year of production in college. I think every year before 2025, even at a smaller school, I think he was at a smaller school, he had less than 100 touches. He's not elusive or creative in the open field. He's just kind of a straight line power guy. He's always seems like he's a step behind. He's like always cutting a little bit slow. He's changing direction a little bit slow. He's always seems like he's just a little bit behind. He fumbles. He's got a little bit of a fumble problem. And his vision is not great. He misses the hole too much. And that's at Toledo. So there are issues here. There's a reason why this guy probably won't be drafted. But I kind of like the power he's bringing here. There's a little bit of fun upside. And look, the special teams, don't discount that. Special teams matters. If this guy can bring something on special teams, you don't even really need him to be a great running back. He's just a really linear athlete. I'd be more excited for this if I wanted a power back, but I don't want a power back. I want a speed back, if anything, because we have power. If you felt you needed him, I'd go in the 7th. I think a 7th round pick would be totally fine. And sometimes you want to make sure you get the guy that you're targeting, and you're afraid you're not going to get them if they make it to UDFA. So maybe that's Trayanum. I don't hate it in the 7th or so. Another top 30 visit we have here is Coleman Bennett, and I'm going to cop to this. I can't find any tape of the guy. I can't watch the guy. I don't know what's going on here, really. I accumulated some notes from some other scouting reports and just tried to get a general sense for what people were saying about him, but I don't know. Kennesaw State, I think they're called the Owls. I got nothing. He's going to turn 25 before the season starts, so we got that. He is typical size, 6 feet, 210. Had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage last year, 7 touchdowns. Year before that, he didn't play that much, but 2023, he had like almost 900 yards, I guess. No, it was a little over 800, excuse me. So some production, but not overwhelming, and it's at Kennesaw State, right? Like, what are we doing? So he's a really good receiver. He's got 61 catches over his last 2 full seasons. 61. He can make stuff happen as a receiver. So that's great. He can play aggressively and fight through soft tackle attempts. You try to bring him down with an arm tackle, he's going to push through. And he was considered a leader. I think he was even voted team captain for the Owls in 2025. So that was, I believe, his first year there, by the way. So He was a leader. But at the end of the day, the production's not even that good, and he's playing at Kennesaw State. There's just not enough numbers here to justify any real excitement. 2024 could have been the year where he seized momentum. If he had a good year in 2024, maybe he transfers to a bigger school in 2025, and maybe he does something that really gets our attention, but that didn't happen. 2024 was a lost season for him, and I don't think his power is going to translate to the NFL. I don't see him being a powerful player at the NFL level. So just wait for the post-draft. I don't think he's worth a pick. Even if you're afraid some other team is going to pick him up in UDFA, like why? Why would you be afraid? What is here that you're scared of missing out on? So just scoop him up in UDFA if you want to. I don't see a draft pick here. We got one more guy here. This is going to be an offensive lineman who I missed my first pass, Logan Taylor of Boston College. Couldn't find his age. He's got some pretty legit size here, man. He's 6'7". So he's got tackle height, maybe even a little too tall. He's 315, so that's good. He's got almost 34-inch arms, which works. 10.5-inch hands are big. He tested adequately, not really a good tester, but it was at least marginal. It functions. Couple of 6th round grades on big boards, but the aggregate has him in the 7th. EFF thought he played decently last year, but he was very leaky in pass protection, and he does have a penalty problem. So a little bit up and down here. A few different things you can say about Logan Taylor. Now, the nice thing with Taylor, the arm length is legit. He could make it at tackle because he's got the arms for it. And he played left tackle, left guard, right guard in college. He got reps at every single position, except for center. So whatever it is you need him to do, he's done at least a little bit of it on a field before. The form and technique he shows in his pass sets are good. He's consistent. He keeps balanced. He moves his feet well. His punches can generate knockback for run plays. So there is some power there in his hands, even if he's not really a leg drive guy. He's not a very good athlete, though, so I don't know what he's going to do in zone. It's probably not a good fit for zone. He's too tall, so he's going to lose leverage, which is why he may not be able to play guard in college, in the NFL. Might be tackle only, and he might not be a good enough athlete to be tackle. I don't know. And even at tackle, this height is not great. 6'7" is not great when you're trying to get leverage. He can get beaten to his edges due to his lack of lateral agility. He doesn't move very well to the sides. Like I said, the guard thing may not work. He might end up kind of positionless. Like he's like a utility lineman. He's a utility offensive lineman, but he's not really good at anything. He can technically do it. So he feels like a practice squatter to me. And he's good on a practice squad because he can play a bunch of different positions, but he's not good at any of it. So just wait for UDFA. It's too messy. It's too messy for me to say he's worth a pick. All right, so that's going to do it. These are your offensive stragglers. We're going to do defensive stragglers in a video later today. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys soon. Go Hawks. Everybody have a great rest of your Monday. At least one more video coming later today.